Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, I know tonight, little fear. Even though Bitcoin has come down, I want to show you guys who is actually buying Bitcoin. What is actually going on behind the scenes, because that's more important than short-term price volatility, which some of you guys may be getting nervous about. But one altcoin that is just ignoring everything, and I think you know who I'm talking about, Solana, continues to form new highs, despite the fact that Bitcoin has come down a little bit. So let's talk about what's going on with Bitcoin, who is actually buying, and also what is going on with Solana. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified. And follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, articles, and guides on CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Again, tonight, little fear. I wonder what the fear index will show tomorrow, because it has been pretty high as of late, but that doesn't really explain what's going on. Why did Bitcoin all of a sudden just fall from 48.6? It looked like it was about to recover and went back down to about 46.7. Is there any particular reason? No, not really. Have we seen something like this before? Yeah. Actually, just a few days ago, when Bitcoin tried to shatter 49.4, you could see it fell down roughly around the same place. Actually went down a little bit further, and you could see we stood there for about a day or so, and then boom, we're right back up. So, is there any particular reason why it fell down? No, nothing. Sometimes there are just some whales that decide to sell, but we did have just a little bit of FUD today. Billionaire John Paulson warns cryptocurrencies will be worthless. Who does this sound like? sounds like Jamie Dimon from a few years ago, and it still sounds like Peter Schiff. But here's the kicker: if you think that it is going to be worthless, why aren't you shorting it? Well, John says even though he sees it worthless, it's too volatile to short. So what does that really mean? That means he's saying one thing, but he's not standing behind it. He's not putting his money where his mouth is. So why even say it at all, right? What is the point? If you really think so, right? If you're like a Michael Burry and you want to make money off of something that you think is a bubble, you know what? Go ahead, short the housing market. Go ahead and short crypto. I dare you. I double dare you. But, of course, he is not brave enough to do so. But this is the only fear I saw today. There's not a whole lot. Now, something else I saw was this. There's still people, including the IMF and the World Bank, that are still not trusting El Salvador making Bitcoin legal tender. We know this is coming. There's still a lot of questions, right? President Nayib has said that he's not going to force Bitcoin down people's throats, but just making it very easy for them to download the Shivo app, which will give them $30 worth of Bitcoin absolutely free. They are free to use it. They are free to store it and hold it, right? But businesses are required to accept Bitcoin. But there's still a lot of, worry, mostly I think from the IMF, because they're worried they're going to lose control. They're going to lose control of El Salvador, right? And we heard of Cuba, Paraguay, and other countries that are looking very carefully. So this is also coming. I mean, this was a little FUD, but still, I don't think this explains everything that's going on. I mean, really, right now, like I said at the beginning, there's really nothing that really explains what's going on. But like I've been saying for a while, even though Bitcoin is hovering or maybe down a little bit, enjoy your altcoin gains. And which altcoins am I talking about? I think you guys know which I'm talking about. I don't know why I went to the left, I don't know how this got all the way down there. But let's just scroll. Let's just sort it out. enjoy your altcoin gains, such as Solana, which continues to make a new high seemingly like every hour. It just hit 115 not too long ago. Now it's about 114. Does it have more momentum? It looks like it, but even then, a lot of good movers for protocols today. Polkadot is up. I told you guys to hang on to Cosmos. Don't give up on Cosmos. Cosmos is up in a big way, but even Luna is coming up. A lot of protocols. Look at Cosmos at 9%. Elrond is up in a big way at 12%. And Arweave, of course, is the storage backbone for Solana, up in a huge way, 40%. And Kusama also with Polkadot up. So you got some movers today. Primarily, though, everyone is looking at Solana. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. So while Bitcoin is weaker, while it's lower, take the opportunity to buy the dip too. The DCA. And the same goes for a lot of these altcoins that have been very, very, very hot, but they have cooled off a little bit. For example, Cardano cooled off a little bit. Not really, because it's up 100% for the last 30 days, but we could take it. We'll take it. If it's down 5% for the day and it's slightly off from its high, hey, this may be the best point to buy the dip, right? We may not have many opportunities like this going forward. So the best way to look at something like today is think of it as a breather day, a consolidation day, maybe a DCA day, maybe a buy the dip day, right? Outside of that, focus on the bigger picture. And one of the things I want you guys to focus on is who is buying Bitcoin. Right now, according to this, everyone. Everyone. What does everyone mean? Right? Well, up on top is wallets that have less than one Bitcoin. So this obviously is retail investors. Right? You could see that after hitting a peak of 64,000, yes, the wallets have dropped, but since then, since about June time, it's been going up and up and up and up, and you could see that the wallets holding Bitcoin is almost up to the 64,000 mark, even though Bitcoin is not up there. So obviously, the retail investors, they're not giving up. They're coming back in, and down here is the whales. And the whales are also increasing, but guess what? Whales started accumulating like a month before the retail investors. And they actually sold off a month or two before. Right at the very first time Bitcoin was at 60,000. Interesting. So the whales, it did sell off earlier, but they also started buying back in earlier. But you can see the trend is still upwards. So what does this mean? Well, it means that both retail investors and whales, and the whales is anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 Bitcoins. Yes, true whales are buying up Bitcoin at this time. And it's the right call. It's the right call. And there's other things that show there's a lot of buying going on. For example, Will, our friend Will Komet, which has some fantastic Glassnode metrics. Here's one that shows supply shock. And what is supply shock? Supply shock is the amount of buying going on, right, versus the supply out there. And according to Will, every time the supply shock hits a certain threshold, right, that's when Bitcoin goes on a tremendous run. You could see back in 2017, you could see when supply shock hit a peak, well, Bitcoin went up on a crazy run. Same thing in 2019, and same thing in 2020 and 2021, and now we're seeing the same thing. So if history, holds true, then we will see that tremendous movement upwards. Like I've been saying, there's just a lot of things that's supporting this right now. Also, I've shown you guys before, the hash rate for Bitcoin continues to go up. Right? Coming up like a V-shaped recovery. Not all the way up, but it's getting there. And that's because every single miner wants to stack sats right now. They want to stack as much of it as possible. And lastly, look at this. Number of addresses holding at least 0.1. Forget 1 or above. Some of you guys are below 1. What about addresses below 0.1 or 0.1 or above going to 1, right? Same thing. Keeps increasing since June, about mid-June. started increasing and it continues to rise. So again, even newcomers, not just retail investors, but the newbies, the noobs that are holding Bitcoin also are accumulating. So overall, this is very, very positive, right? I've talked about countries, I've talked about companies, talked about institutions, talked about many entities that is jumping in. But you know what? At the end of the day, it takes buying, a lot of buying to drive things up, and that's what we're seeing now. So that is pretty positive. So like I said at the beginning, ignore short-term volatility. If you're getting nervous, if you're getting antsy, ignore it. Think of it as a golden opportunity. And in the meantime, enjoy your altcoin gains. For example, Solana, and I talked about it this morning, there is something big coming tomorrow. So can it be buy the rumor, buy the news, or buy the rumor, sell the news? It could be. We'll have to wait. There is a big ignition event that's happening tomorrow. This may be the driver of Solana going up today, and we'll see. This could be just an announcement of a hackathon or some kind of initiative or a grant or something big that's just launching to drive more dApps, or it's speculated that maybe there's going to be a huge token burn that is also announced. Who knows? Who knows? That is pretty mysterious at this point, but this could be it. Even this morning, Charles Hoskinson of Cardano asked about Solana. He's like, I want to know more, right? And supposedly he said some good things about Solana, so that's also very positive. And Solana did recently integrate Chainlink into their DevNet, not in their mainnet yet, but they do have some other project called Pith Network, which is also Oracle, which has over 100 teams that is already utilizing it. So there is a lot of development on top of Solana right now. So very positive. We'll see what Ignition brings tomorrow. Can this be a huge event? Yes. Could it be a sell-off event? Maybe. But seeing how hot it is right now, I'm going to lean towards the first option, where it's going to probably go up afterwards. Whatever is announced will probably be pretty positive, and I guess we'll see. Something else that's pretty positive, blockchain.com is investing in Luna, bought a ton of Luna, and is now running a validator for Luna as well. So Luna is another project, or I should say Terra. They have their own blockchain very fast within the Cosmos ecosystem, right? They're about to launch IBC, which has interoperability capability, and they just keep getting more and more dApps, right? There's a big upgrade, more dApps coming in, and more investment. So another reason why you should be holding on to Terra. And lastly, you know what? For those of you guys that are XRP fans, XRP or Ripple files motion to expose XRP holdings of SEC employees. Interesting tactic. I don't know what this is going to show. If SEC employees, including Gary, holds a ton of XRP, why would they be suing Ripple? I think this is what they're trying to lead on, is the SEC employees that are going after Ripple is actually holding a ton of XRP. But then why would they be going after them? You would think that maybe they have a lot of shorts against XRP. That may be interesting. If they actually expose a lot of these guys holding shorts of of XRP, we'll see. I don't know. Interesting tactic. Just want to bring it up for you guys. All right. Overall, like I said, it's still very positive. And another reason why you could tell, another thing that you could look at is Bitcoin dominance. Guess what? With Bitcoin going down, usually, okay, this is how you could tell if there's like something serious going on. Usually, if Bitcoin goes down in a big way, a dump way, right? Bitcoin dominance jumps up to the moon. The reason being, people are fearful. They're selling off their alts because their alts are draining, and then they go switch into Bitcoin. But guess what? Bitcoin dominance actually dropped. So this tells me that this is purely manipulated on Bitcoin's part, right? People are not panicking right now, which is why you have alts like Solana and Polkadot and Arweave and Cosmos doing very well right now. Because if there was some kind of huge thing that's driving everything down, Bitcoin dominance will be going up. But right now, it's actually still going down. Interesting, right? So these little things, little tells, right, kind of tells you that, right now it's just not time to be panicking. It is not time to be panicking. Take advantage when you can. So I mentioned about Harmony. Harmony's also doing very well. I don't know why, though. I looked, there was nothing really going on with Harmony. There just seems to be a lot of protocols. Phantom went up huge today because of some new grant program I saw. But a lot of protocols today are doing very, very good. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, scrolling up. Brogan says George pumps so hard. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just telling you how I feel. You got to pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on, and once you understand that, and once you understand that Bitcoin is the future, then what's going on now does not scare you. Does not scare you at all. What happened to Jordan? He's on vacation. That's why. What else is there? ADAX. People have been asking about ADAX. I know it's been doing well recently. It's the next DEX for Cardano. But I still like to wait until Goguen is done, which is coming in about 12 days, I think in 2 weeks. So that is pretty quick. That could be a driver for Cardano going forward. Keep in mind, Cardano has been on a tear recently, taking a breather. Some of you guys always ask, hey, when do you get into something? This could be a good time because Cardano has not pumped up for a few days. But just give it time. It will probably come when Goguen or the implementation of smart contracts is coming. It'll probably have that pump pre and post event. All right, scrolling down. Why is Pogonop not pumping? Well, it's in the green today. Tyler, thank you for that. Can you talk about Matic? Not much to say other than you just gotta wait. There go get their turn. XRP is boring. Do you know of, Noah asked, do you know if Helium uses Solana to run their smart contract? Kind of interesting. I don't know. I don't know if Helium is based on Solana. I think they're on their own chain. I wonder if we could find out real quick. Blockchain. I'm pretty sure they're their own chain. Yeah, they have to be. Because their consensus and their mining is just totally different. I don't think it's based on Solana. So no. I'm just going to say no. But Helium is a good project. Love it. Terry is the SEC. I think Terry got mad, so now he's not showing up anymore. All right, let's see. What is this thing with Cream and AMP? Are you bullish on AMP? Yes. They haven't been doing well recently, but I am fans of AMP. Someone else asked about ACH, Alchemy Pay. I'm a fan of Alchemy Pay too, since they're relatively small. DeFi Kingdoms, new game, NFT land DEX on Harmony. Haven't heard of them. Actually, I take that back. Someone else said it, but I don't know too much about them. Can they be the reason why Harmony is going up? Well, DeFi Kingdom doesn't even show up. So, no. How much ETH do you need to hold to be considered a Ethereum whale? I don't know. I don't think there's any real number. I mean, just say $1 million worth of ETH. Let's just put it that way. I don't know if there's any definition like, hey, if you hold this much, you're a whale. I mean, even holding 100 ETH is considered whale territory compared to some, right? I don't know how you define that. Chris, hey George, I'm a daily viewer. Thanks to your stream and dedication. Could you shout out to my brother Andrew Santana? Sorry, I butchered last name. Santana. Andrew, welcome. Welcome to crypto and Bitcoin. Today may not be the best day, right? Because you're probably wondering what's going on, but you know what? We'll get through it. There's a lot to learn. Stay in the game. Listen to your brother. What dApps do you personally use? You know what? I use the AMMs. So I use like Trust Wallet is a very good wallet, non-custodial wallet for those of you guys that want a little bit more, wiggle room for trading rather than using like a Ledger or Trezor. But, within it, there's Uniswap, Sushi Swap. You could go straight to OpenSea if you wanted to. I mean, there's a Pancake Swap. There's a lot of dApps in there. Those are the ones I use. Price prediction for Nervos. I don't know. I don't really follow Nervos that much. The only thing I know is I know they have a bridge for Cardano. Could be a big thing for them. But outside of that, I don't know what else. They're really about interoperability, the communication between chains. So look at Clover. I have before. I forgot what they are. It's Clover Finance, right? I think it's Clover Finance. Cross-chain compatibility. All-in-one. I have looked at this before. Looks very familiar. So, cross-chain capability. DeFi app. Okay. Let's just say it's okay. Which coins do you see exploding like Nano did in 2017? Went to 20 cents to $37 in a month. We're going to see a lot of coins like that. Right at the tail end. Okay? Not only did Nano do it, Cardano did it, Tron did it, many others did it, EOS did it, all at the tail end of 2017 and the first 2 weeks of 2018. So there's a lot of projects like that. I can't tell you anything specific, but there will be a lot like that out there. Is AMP undervalued right now? I think AMP is about right. I know they went down a little bit, but you look at it, there's still 2.2 billion, right? When I first covered AMP, they were like 200 million, I think. 200, 300, you have to take a look. So they've already gone up like 10x since I covered them maybe like 4 or 5 months ago. So I think they're about where they should be. They could definitely go higher from here. That's for sure. All right. Where do you buy R or Rweave? Well, you got to look at it. It's not that hard. I should say not that hard, not that easy to buy Rweave. It depends on if you're in the U.S. or not. If you're not in the U.S., Binance, Huobi, good exchanges to go get it at. If you're in the U.S., something like Gate.io, right? It just depends. Depends on where you are. Not a big fan. Neutral on Fetch AI. Not a big fan of AI plays at all. Terry says, wish I was the real Terry. No, you're not the real Terry. Don't try to be. No one can replace Terry. Cello pumped up because of this big initiative this morning with all this DeFi plays, and they chose to go on Cello for some reason. Litecoin is still 50% off is from a previous high. Yeah. If you're holding Litecoin, you should seriously consider just switching to Bitcoin at this point. Is HEA's more upside potential? It definitely does have more upside potential. They work differently than AMP. But, you know, their overall market cap is much smaller, about 10x smaller. They're still hooked up with Binance and also Shopify. And you know what? They have a lot of potential, I think. I don't know what DinoSwap is. Opinion on Solana versus Ecomi NFTs. Solana, Degenerate Apes, I believe, was very, very hot in Salamas. Ecomi NFTs are more Marvel comic book kind of stuff. Marvel, DC, you know, it's different. It's different. I haven't seen Ecomi. Ecomi has a lot of these, you know, like I said, comic book stuff, but Solana caught the fire of some of these, like, you know, what do you call it? Like kind of the CryptoPunks replacements, right? So they're very, very different. All right, last few things. Buy VET. You can never go wrong buying VeChain and VThor. Why do whales seem to hate 50,000? It's a psychological level. Just like Bitcoin could not break 20,000 before. Could not do it. Cannot do it until it did, and it was gone. Right? 50,000, I believe, is that psychological level. It's a good, even number right between, you know, 0 and 100,000. So I think they want to keep it down as low as much as possible. Bagged us 500 Solana in June. Congratulations. Flow, I like. Big NFT protocol. Synthetic, I'm neutral on because they're creating synthetic tokens, which many are security tokens. So that's why Uniswap delisted a ton of synthetic tokens off of their DEX. So, all right, last few questions. Thomas, appreciate it. I love DOT staking rewards. That is fantastic. XRP to $30. I don't know when that's going to happen, if ever. When do you expect to buy Solana at this point? You know, tomorrow will be a telling point. Tomorrow, I got to say it, you know, since this Solana has been so hot and this big event's coming up, maybe this could be one of those periods where it's buy the rumor, sell the news. We haven't seen Solana take a breather since it was around like $60. Since 60 to like 112 now, it just has gone up and up and up without stopping at all. So maybe this is going to be a stopping point. I still advise to wait until it takes a breather before jumping in. Otherwise, you may be buying at top and you have to wait a little bit, right? But if you do, just keep holding. It will continue upwards. I do think it's going to keep going and press right against BNB and Cardano. I think it's going to land up somewhere around there in the future. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Let's see what happens with Bitcoin tonight, tomorrow, and let's see what happens to Solana and other cryptos out there. Have a good night, guys. Take care.